Um,
Welcome to Cloud Dancer Speaks. And what great discussion shall we hold today? Shall we talk about the creature from in the other room? My wonderful wife? Oh, there's so many things. Well, I want to talk again, as a favourite subject of mine, about spirit. Now, in the Order of the Dragons, we find many come, many go. There's only a few that have the vitality and how can I put it? Interest. No, that's the wrong word. Determination to stay the course. It's not easy, but anything worthwhile never is easy, is it? And let's face it, it is one of the most powerful magical systems that have existed. There is one higher that I know of, but I don't think you're ready for that one yet. I often get told off by my beloved. Excuse me while I play with my beads. That's it. Well, it's all to do with spirit. As I've often told you, spirit entities, some exist on different dimensions. They're not spirit as such, they're multidimensional. They can travel from one dimension to another. They have bodies of light, if you like, etheric bodies that are not a lot of different than our own. More complex and more advanced. It's a progression. Then you have the disembodied ones. These are spirits that can come and they can change shape to whatever would please you. As I've said before, as a small child it could appear as an angel or a fairy. Later on it could appear as an angel, or it can appear as anything that resembles peace and love. Within the Native Americans, they appear as guardian animals. There's no difference between one species and another. The life energy is the same. Sometimes we can get very down and sometimes we can get very high. It's due to tachyon energy. If we have not enough tachyon energy that works on the neurons, then you'll feel low and you feel miserable. If you have too much like tachyon energy, like Dark Raven one, you're hyper. You're on top of the world most of the time. Now, that was not meant as a derogative statement or remark. It was meant as factual. So, when we talk of haunted houses, what are we talking about here? Well, in some places that are haunted, it can be residue. Buildings can hold memories of anything dramatic that has occurred within that building. So it comes as like residue, and we pick it up, so oh, the place is haunted. It's not haunted as such. You're just tuning into the residue of the building, of what's planted in the building. Then you get those that can materialize, or a definite haunting. You'll feel a touch, you'll feel a push, you'll see all sorts of strange things happen. These are what I call earthbound spirits. To whatever they have done in the past lives. Lives, not life. Lives. Will resonate to such an extent that they become earthbound. These are the true haunted spirits. We passed a graveyard once and I saw a lot of people, spirits wandering around like they were lost. They didn't even know they'd crossed over. They couldn't understand what was happening. And they were all wandering around this graveyard. First of all, I thought it was quite horrific. Then I thought it was amusing that these poor creatures didn't know where to go or what to do. They were earthbound. Well, what causes this to happen a hell of a lot is what we call organized religions. Religions that are jammed down your throat from a young child until it becomes like a program pattern within the brain. And an acceptance, no matter how fantastic or how ridiculous it sounds, they will believe it to the end. And what we are trying to do is clear that, let people see things as they really are. This whole planet, this whole solar system is a is a matrix. It's designed that way. So the whole solar system and universe as we know it is really a teaching ground, if you like. So the entities of our world that come into this world, or when we leave this world and go into another, we find that things have changed. You can do things that you couldn't do before. Like there's an intermediate world which is much the same as this. We call it Amani. In Amani, things are the same. It's a transient world, so when you cross over, you're not suddenly thrown in the deep end. You're gradually eased into it. So everything seems the same. And you can do things that you couldn't do before. This is Amani, which is of old, have another word for Amani. Then you get to the actual spirit world itself. which is not a world. It's not even a place. It's an existence. And it would be like us looking at an anthill as to look on this world, or this great colossus of an empire, or not empire, universe. It would be like looking at an anthill and studying ants. Now that is the difference between spirit. Now sometimes the higher one, the Ecleons as we call them, the bodiless ones, or the formless ones, they do come on this earth. And those that have opened up psychically are aware of them. They say, oh look, there goes a globe, a sphere. They see a round thing flying around. Oh yes, they know what that is, of course. It's a spirit about to materialize. What a load of gobbledygook. Why do human beings base their life on supposition? Why? It has nothing to do with spirits wandering around the earth waiting to materialize because they've seen an orb. That orb is one of the formless ones. That's how they appear. Then we get the other people who think of fairies, and they talk of little folk, about 2 inches high, flitting around. That's not a fairy. That's a nature spirit. We often amuse ourselves when we hear this. The old Celts knew about this. Fairies are about the same size as you, and they do not like human beings.
They're taller than us.
Yeah, they are a bit taller than us, you're quite correct. They detest human beings, not little tiny folk. How do I know this? Because I've seen one.
And I've been chased by one.
And Dark Raven one has been chased by one. These are real. We have over in Ireland what they call a banshee. And we heard this wailing. So I went round and got some friends together, and we decided to investigate what the wailing was. And we looked over this wall, and there was this old woman brushing her hair, wailing, breaking her heart. And we were looking at each other. Why is she in that field doing that? What's wrong with her? And then she just orbed out. She just faded away. That was a fairy. Banshee. She in Gaelic is fairy. She's attached to, the banshee's attached to certain families in Ireland. When someone dies, she weeps. This is not an imaginary thing. This is not a figment of the imagination. This is not some fairy story. They are for real.
It's said in Irish folklore that if you hear a banshee cry, that means someone in your family will die.
No, not in your family. They're only attached to certain families, Adrian.
Okay.
I forget. I'm not going to mention what families because it will throw people in a tizzy. But we do know of some families where that's attached to. That is a fact. And they are not little wee folk with wings that flit around with little magic wands. What is the matter with you? Are you so wrapped up in your own thoughts that you cannot expand? Fairies are dangerous. You do not upset any of the fairy folk at all.
14 minutes have passed.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Even the ancients will tell you this. Well, next week I will not be giving a talk until the following Monday. Maybe Tuesday. Well, we'll see. We'll try and get it in because Dark Raven 1 and Little Buffalo will be away, flitting away, gone, leaving me all on my own son with a dog. Poor old man, half crippled, staggering around.
Stop it, because Percy will come in to see to you.
Eh?
Percy will be calling into you.
You sure he's not a fairy?
No.
Oh, that's all right then. No, I'll have someone looking after me. So enjoy the day. It's been so hot yesterday, and it is roasting today as well. This, I did warn you, you were going to go through a heat wave. Now you've got it. So enjoy it. It's wonderful. We had a wonderful time on Friday, myself and Dark Raven 1 and Little Buffalo. We had a great time. It was really enjoyable. Well, as some of you know, they've both got their toys. Dark Raven 1's got a new computer, and Little Buffalo has got his supercomputer back. So they're all clicking away earlier on, quite happy, which makes me feel good. Well, as Little Buffalo said, I got to go. My blessings with each one of you. Enjoy the day. Forget your troubles and difficulties. Go out there and enjoy it. Let everything go out of your mind. Be happy. Namaste. Om Shanti.